In just moments, President Trump will be sitting down with Japanese leaders. This after the president helped broker the Kuala Lumpur peace accords, ending the conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Army, Van Hipp, joins me now. And Van, with everything that the average American has to worry about here at home, I'm trying to ask this question on behalf of the person who's sitting there in Florida waking up this morning at 4:51. Why should they care about this deal? Why is it so important?
Well, that deal's important because that entire region is important. The South China Sea, Todd, we've got $5 trillion worth of cargo flows through the South China Sea every year. And let me put that in perspective. That's 1/3 of all maritime trade that's being shipped. That's half of all LNG and 1/3 of all oil. It is vital to the economy of the free world.
When Xi Jinping sees this deal to end the conflict between Cambodia and Thailand, what does he think? What does that do to his mindset, especially when it comes to Taiwan?
I think he expected this, but I think he knew that we would get some trade agreements there. But I think what caught President Xi flat-footed and what he was not expecting was the critical minerals deal that the president announced with Thailand and Malaysia. And if you notice, Todd, right after that, you had your Chinese and the U.S. negotiators on the sidelines there at the ASEAN conference. All of a sudden, lo and behold, that's when Communist China's top trade negotiator said, oh, we've got a preliminary framework now for a deal. Look, Communist China only does a deal with you when you're holding the cards and they know they've been outfoxed. And I think that's what we've got right here.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we can get these vital critical minerals from Malaysia and Thailand, that really does help, to your point, with leverage, because we are not desperate for what China has anymore. Getting back to the peace agreement, Trump ultimately used the threat of tariffs. He's very, very good at this, to basically say, Cambodia and Thailand, stop your fighting. Will this be how Donald Trump is remembered throughout history, basically saying, I'm going to use the pen and not the sword to end bloodshed?
He's doing it to end wars, but he's also doing it to get a better deal for the American people. He's the best salesman we've ever had for this country and for the American people. He's doing the same thing in Japan. Prime Minister Takaichi is going to announce a major U.S. investment in the United States when he meets with her tomorrow, and also look for President Lee of South Korea to do the same. In each instance, he's out there on a mission to get the best deal he can for the American people. Look, this president inherited the most complex foreign policy landscape I think a commander-in-chief has ever faced of this country. It is an international chess game, Todd, but I think he is playing it just like that old great world chess champion, the late Bobby Fischer.
Sure. We got about 15 seconds remaining. Your specialty is war. Are we a safer country at the end of this trip, do you think?
Big time, big time. I think President Trump understands that his chief responsibility as commander-in-chief is keeping the American people safe, and he's doing that both at home and abroad.
Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Army, Van Hipp, thank you for your insight. We appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.